Hey, remember that one time they released a spin-off of Soul Eater and everyone kind of hated it? Let's rip into it. Oh, you thought we were going to focus on the beloved main characters that we grew close to? Wrong! This is Tsugumi, and instead of the dark, edgy, cool setting that made us foam at the mouth, we get generic schoolgirl aesthetic. Not even like bubblegum pop cutesy kawaii. You know, literally everything the original Soul Eater wasn't. Tsugumi finds out that she's a weapon, so she's going to the DWMA. Now, the question is, does this follow the end of the anime or the end of the manga where Kid promised they wouldn't be making death weapons anymore? And I think I know which one it is. Both are wrong. This is actually a prequel. Yep, I'm shocked too. So it doesn't interfere with the plot of the manga, except it actually does.
There it is, Death City. My new school and my new home, the DWMA. I've never tasted anything like this before. It tastes like America!
Not only do we have a regular girl, we have rich blonde girl trope. Oh my goodness, Sid isn't dead.
An authentic commoner. Her hairstyle is unassuming. She has no figure to speak of, and despite her utter lack of poise or charisma, she has a sweetly unconcerned blank smile.
Is there like a country of rich people that never have to interact with normal people? Being astonished by the most common wealth class is such a weird trope to me. Covering all the tropes this time, but don't worry, if it's both women, then that makes it okay, because we love double standards here. Oh, this is the ditzy one that has no wrinkles, no bumps or lumps. Smooth brain, May spelled like meme.
As far as I'm concerned, the ideal partner is someone who will clean up after me, tend my wounds, and, you know, other things.
Yeah, that sounds like a high school boy, and if they don't get what's coming, that'll be a man that still thinks that way. So remember, kids, if you see a boy being misogynistic, corner him in the bathroom when no one is looking, preferably with a group who's on the same page as you. You can use items from the janitor's closet as makeshift weapons, and then you...
These are two senior students here, the Meistermacher Albarn and the Weapons Soul Eater.
Are they seniors in the original series? Do years even matter at this school? I thought you just kept going until you made a death scythe. Also, they made Soul look adorable, and I actually love it. Props to this show for expanding on the battle techniques and how it functions. They make it a point to show that Soul still has a level of control when they fight and often aids in the maneuverability of Maka in order to make fighting easier for her, showcasing that they really do work together and it's not just the Meister doing all the work. Also, Anya, the rich girl, for some reason, doesn't like Tsugumi's side. Oh, she's a tsundere. Oh.
That girl Mei did seem kinda nice.
Whoa! N-word pass, activate melanin transformation. So in a very typical fashion, sleazeballs are harassing women, so they gotta band together and exercise their girl power to overcome the obstacle, establishing their friendship and forming bonds with each other. Tsugumi can't transform when she's under pressure, which means she's basically useless, so Anya uses bitch slap attack. It only takes one pep talk before her internal struggle is completely overcome. Commence with the butt kicking. They're in a group, but they forgot to corner them in the bathroom. I mean, as long as they win, I'm happy. So Mei and Tsugumi partner up, leaving Anya completely cucked. Oh no, they both want Tsugumi. I swear, if this doesn't turn into a Yuri, I'm going to be pissed.
Even if you account for meals and whatever else, this is way more allowance than I got at home.
So if you somehow manage to spend all your money between now and tomorrow, you'll have to get a job and earn your own.
A real job? Like where they pay you?
Yeah. A job where they pay you? Is that such a foreign concept to you, you rich fuck? Mei sleep fights, not sure how relevant that's going to be to the plot. It's actually incredibly relevant. It's not like a Zenitsu situation is just like randomly included for the sake of comedy until it isn't. Oh, there we go, there's the Yuri.
If you want to make it here, you have to get along with the housemaster, even if she is a raging psycho.
Wait! New favorite character, come back! Turns out this is the witch of the girls' dorm, and she's straight up a bully, just taking lunch money from the MC. So if you like findoms, then this is still a 14-year-old, and don't you forget it. So Anya is so enamored with the pores that she goes out to the market and buys literally everything because she thinks bananas are only $10. And she steals Mei's and Tsugumi's money in order to buy what she wants because she just doesn't think that's a lot of money to her.
Well, it's not like it's a whole lot of money, right? I wouldn't worry too much.
Yeah, you're right. We get more every week, don't we?
I want to strangle her so bad. No other option than to get a job at Death Bucks. Why isn't there like a million Bucks parody coffee shops out there? I feel like that would be funny. Oh no, they have to work with handsome men in uniform. Shame that this is a Yuri, so they better get comfortable kissing dudes. If you're expecting high action fight scenes, then look somewhere else. This show is about girls doing girly things and friends becoming girlfriends that will inevitably not follow through because the world hates us.
It is our sincere hope that we can all weapons and meisters such as yourself.
Wow, how relatable. I also have dreams where women are crawling all over me. I knew I liked this character for a reason. This is literally Kim from the original show. Well, I mean, she wasn't really in the show. She was far more important in the manga. We're actually focusing on her a little bit, which is surprising, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but we even see Ox chasing her and Kim punching him in the gut. So it checks out. I just feel like this is a bit more of a change of her character. People can change, sure, but I hope they really try to show a transition in her personality from the manga.
Hey, Sid. We think these Traitor guys are probably just out to prove something, right?
Well, you know, that guy's voice sounds familiar. In a totally separate and not at all related note, did you guys see that Bryce Papenbrook used my audio in TikTok? Isn't that crazy? Get this, the reason it's called Not is because they're all non-combatants or normally overcome target because they're just bad and aren't good at fighting right now. What is nice is that Ox was the weakest of all the characters, and now he took up a job just so he can pay back Tsugumi the money that Kim took from her. Like, he's showing that he's really been trying to understand Kim, not because of some blind crush, but because he just has a heart, and that's something that was really lacking about him in the original story. I hope you're ready to be pissed off. Pretty Boy here comes from a fancy dojo and is also apparently part of the Star Clan. His family runs the Star Clan, which directly contradicts the fact that Black Star is supposed to be the last of the Star Clan, and kind of, you know, ruins Black Star's whole character arc. Why would they retcon this? How does this add anything? They don't even do anything with this detail. They just added it in.
They are the descendants of family lines that have weapon genetic information. Abilities typically start exhibiting themselves at puberty. And 3.
I don't think I've seen Nigus without the bandages. Did they ever explain why she's usually bandaged? What happens to her? We're really covering the most basic, stereotypical anime story you can imagine. Feeling like she's just not good enough and can't compare to how awesome her friends are. Her self-esteem goes down the gutter, and she's so in her head that all we really get is internal monologue about how terrible she is at everything. She seems to fall flat in just about everything she does, including her flat chest, which they'll remind you about literally every episode.
Go ahead. Here! It's the flat-chested card. My breasts are just modest, thank you.
Me too, girl. I've been on hormones for about 5 years, and I'm about as big as you. I do like how we get to see how Kim and Jacqueline, I think it's not Jacqueline, it's Jacqueline, because became partners and how it doesn't align at all with what we imagined. Both of them, I thought, were witches, as discovered in the manga. We assumed they just met at the Black Mass, but turns out Jacqueline pursued Kim knowing that there was something more to her.
You're pretty. Did you know that?
Gosh, yes, finally! No! Are you kidding me? So the plot starts integrating Kim into the main group, and Jacqueline inserts herself as the foil to Kim, being stuck up and has a strong attention to detail, and is also super gay. Part of me wanted to think that this would be Atsushi Okabo's excuse to draw girls in more promiscuous situations, but it's shockingly not that painfully horny. There's a subplot slowly developing about these people called traitors that keep popping up. Normal people are turning into killers seemingly at random for no reason. The real origin between their partnership is that Kim is too stupid to realize Jacqueline has a massive lesbo crush on her, and so Tsugumi and the team have to figure out a way to get Kim to notice her. And what better way than tarot cards and zodiac signs? the tried and true way the girls and the gays use to dictate every aspect of their life.
Shut up, I'm not in love! Experience with heat, though.
What's that I see? Are those dinosaur hands? Do I sense a touch of the tism? And when tarot fails, time for criminal investigation. Turns out Kim's birthday is literally impossible. They ask around and find out everybody has completely different stories about where Kim came from, probably because she's lied to everyone because she's literally a witch. Oh, and also there's apparently a big bad guy but that's, not important as the Yuri plotline, so who cares? Doggy gets hurt, Kim heals it with magic, Jacqueline sees her doing that and finds out she's a witch. Wait, so is Jacqueline not a witch? Does she become a witch? Can you become a witch? Do you have to be born a witch or can you become one? Has that ever been talked about? I know you can be born a witch, obviously. Whatever. Kim tells her that she hated being a witch and that's why she changed her whole personality to try and avoid ties to her old life. Jacqueline says that she accepts her and doesn't care because, as a fellow queer, someone being a witch only makes them hotter.
Now I realize what I've been feeling toward her isn't really love after all.
About earlier, let us stay between the two of us, won't it?
Lesbians are so awesome. And that's how they became partners. Now we're suddenly focusing on the Thompson sisters, and they make it look like they had to run away from home rather than being abandoned. And were they rich once, or is this just like Patty imagining this? I can't tell. This takes place right after Kid picked them off the streets. Currently, they're on probation and have to work a job that they really aren't suited for. We don't know how long they've been living on the streets of Brooklyn, but I would guess it's been a long while. Patty is also really mean and not a ditz, like, how she was in the main series. Not sure why that's a change, and I'm hoping there's a reason rather than just changing it for no reason. That being said, they never explained why she becomes a ditz. She's just mean now. Okay, so writers, not just in this show, but writers in general, need to make more of an effort to make their dialogue of the tough characters actually sound tough. They're supposed to sound intimidating, but they write the most generic lines that you can think of. Like, Liz and Patty aren't just like rude, they're heavily insinuated to be murderers.
You're lucky you have a pretty face, you brat.
Oh yeah? Well, shut it, you dirty old man. Sounds to me like they want to go at it, huh, Patty?
Yeah, this ought to be good.
Someone who's dressed like a princess really shouldn't talk so tough. It isn't very good for your health. Let's take this somewhere else.
That's what I never understood. They tell them to take it somewhere else. Why would you go? You're out in the open where they can't do much of anything without being caught. Just don't go. They didn't drag you down the alley. You voluntarily put yourself in a worse position. If both people want to fight, I get it, but this doesn't fit that description, and nothing significant develops with them. Tsugumi just thinks they're cool and wants to be tough like them. That's it. Don't you love it when the characters that haven't had any development get to do the cool stuff while the main characters don't do anything important? I love it when they do that. I love seeing characters I have no connection to doing interesting things.
You two have displayed some serious analytical skill.
Shucks, boss.
Quick, what's 1 + 1?
Why are you asking me? Okay, let's see here. 2!
Not quite ready for Central Intelligence yet.
OMG, this show is so funny. Wasn't that funny, guys? Maybe they should work for SNL because that was a knee slapper. So that one character that never did anything interesting is tricked by this scorpion witch girl to wear a ring and to get hypnotized. And so she becomes a serial killer on a rampage. Because Tsugumi sucks at fighting, Maka and Soul do the work for them. Almost like they should have been the main characters in the first place, but whatever. There's not a lot to compliment about this show, but one bonus about this show is that the original voice cast is all back. And yeah, I'll keep you posted on other good things. The witch commands boring girl to kill herself, and then she does. Now that's what I've been waiting for, something fucked up. Honestly, I was okay with the slice of life stories that we were getting. If this show was just learning about like the daily life or the daily school life of DWMA students with cameos from the original characters, I'd be okay with that, actually. I'm simple to please. You put lesbians in a story and I'm hooked. Anyway, she's not actually dead.
Oh, We should throw a party or something.
Hey, Jackie, is something bothering you?
Me and Kim, we just broke up.
No! Put that witch on pause. This is more important. Mei-Mei and Anya are getting tired of who Tsugumi will choose to be her partner with, so they give her an ultimatum. She has until Halloween, or the Battle Festival, to make her decision. Every day they'll switch between the two of them as the Meister so that they can get a better feel for who would be the better partner.
Her batting form is a disaster. I've got a good ball here.
If the ball squishes, it's not a good baseball. So I can't actually show any of the parts that I'm going to talk about, so you'll have to deal with just me talking about it and showing my face instead. Just when I thought there was a surprising lack of fan service, especially for a Soul Eater show, I was proven wrong. They get to a point where they're too hot when they're sleeping. And of course, Mei-Mei sleepwalks, and they just have to start taking their clothes off. Of course. I don't really have any other criticism other than just, wow, that's uncomfortable. If you thought, like I did, if you thought this show was going to be more tame, you were wrong. Remember how Mei-Mei sleepwalks? Apparently that's important to the plot because she sleepwalks all the way over to the DWMA at night past curfew. Somehow she has a key to the room where Sid has been investigating that scorpion witch. Mei-Mei finds a specific book and tries to get out before they get caught, and now Mei-Mei is in trouble. Doesn't take a genius to figure out that Mei-Mei is linked to the witch. How else would she have the key? And this witch does mind control, so like obviously she's being mind controlled. A bat flies into their room with a message saying that it's from Mei-Mei and that she wants to see them, all the while Sid is using Mei-Mei to try and capture the witch Gorgon, but now Tsugumi and Anya seem to be rescuing Mei-Mei instead and not realizing they're being used because they're really dumb.
We're coming in! Stand back!
Mei-Mei!
It was at this moment.
Mei-Mei breaks out and Gorgon manages to poison Sid. So, if you were wondering how Sid died, that's how. There you go. It all connects. And then Anya is told that she has to go home because she's actually a princess, and they don't want to deal with possible political problems if she dies. Turns out the two boys have been her undercover bodyguards for her this whole time, I guess, apparently. Ignore that for now. Time for the Halloween Battle Festival. Not a big surprise that this is when Gorgon rolls out her plan and starts to mind control all the students. Tsugumi asks for Liz and Patty's help to try to get to the airport before Anya leaves the country, and Anya crashed the car intentionally because she wants to be with Tsugumi and help Mei-Mei. After seeing the true friendship between Anya and Tsugumi, they just let her go. Tsugumi's character arc of being able to connect with someone enough to transform at will is completed. Anya and Tsugumi achieved soul resonance. Why can she fly? Are you kidding me? In the manga, again, you should watch my video about the manga. In the manga states that a Grigori soul, that being the type of soul that Maka has, is so incredibly rare, you'd probably have a better chance of winning the lottery. The Grigori soul is the type of soul that allows a Meister to fly, and it took Soul becoming a death scythe in order to unlock that potential. So what you're saying is Tsugumi gets to fly for plot convenience. That's bullshit. I know she's not good at flying, but this is still wrong. It completely undermines the efforts of Soul and Maka.
So you came here.
Yes, that's right. Now please give us the antidote and we'll go.
How did you know Stein had an antidote? Only Nigis knew, and you didn't talk to Nigis. For some reason, Stein decides to give it to Tsugumi and blocks Nigis, which is also out of character of, oh, he has more, never mind. They fight against a mind-controlled Mei-Mei. Of course, there's no better way to administer the antidote than to hold it in your mouth and French her. Obviously, there's clearly no other way it would work. Then they sing a song and Mei-Mei is all right.
I finally made up my mind. I choose you both to be my partners.
You know, Twilight should have taken notes from this show. Why pick one when you can have both? Because they're all such good friends, Tsugumi finally has a blade, and they just pass her around during the fight against Gorgon. With a super friendship attack, they defeat Gorgon and everything is okay now. They somehow managed to accomplish far more than what Maka ever did with less than half the effort. Why does Gorgon's soul look like that? She's supposed to be a witch. Well, she should have a witch soul. That's a Kishin egg. So there were no teachers that actually did anything important, but somehow everything is fine. Is this show bad? I mean, not completely. If I put aside my expectations, then I can enjoy most of it, but there's a very big and obvious aspects of this show that are just insulting. So yes, the show is bad.
You're finally back! You grew your hair out, didn't you? My hair and your chest, there's no stopping either of them from growing. I'll happily trade you anytime you want.
Stop making out already.
I never thought I'd say this to Yuri, but please shut the f up. But how does this show compare to the manga? Trick question. I'm not reading the manga. I don't care enough. Why? Why did they make these decisions? The most common joke on the internet is that the fan base pretends that Soul Eater does not exist. And I can't blame them. It's like not even like the black sheep of Soul Eater. It's just the disfigured abomination that nobody remembers coming out of our mom's womb, but for some reason it's here. And like, we're not sure if we should kill it because that may be inhumane. So we're just gonna like pretend it's not there. I'm editing this video and I realized that's probably a really insensitive and messed up analogy. So I'm really sorry for offending anyone out there. It's just, this is such a spit in the face to the original story. But the video isn't over. Oh no, it's now time for everyone's favorite new segment. Isabella and I decided to go to my parents' basement, a bar, arcade, and comic shop. Now you see, a lot of these barcade shops, they'll have comic books and it's usually like an afterthought. And even though it's obviously not to the same level as a dedicated comic store, they actually have a decent amount of space dedicated to comics. But the decorations are really good and did a really nice job setting the tone. We first grabbed a bite, me a burger, and Isabella a grilled cheese with tomato. It wasn't bad. The tomato really carried the sandwiches. It was really good tomato. Without the tomato, it was nothing to write home about. I'm not gonna mince words when I give my reviews. I understand these are small businesses, but guys, step up your food game. But they have a wall of pinball machines. And I love pinball. I went straight for the Uncanny X-Men machine and dumped like $6 into playing several rounds, a lot more than I thought $6 would get me. I'm very rusty and we failed every mission, but it was still so much fun to see the lights and all the characters that I read about regularly. Isabella wanted to play the Jaws pinball machine. They have arcade cabinets, but we didn't really play any of those since we just haven't seen pinball in so long. Vibes were immaculate. The people were like fun rowdy, they were a little drunk, and the staff were friendly. I am a sucker for hardwood, especially hardwood bars, so that gives it bonus points in my mind. Oh yeah, they had a 60s Batman pinball machine, so obviously I played that too. I could definitely recommend checking this place out if you can. We have a double whammy for the vlog epilogue. I know I promised to some people that I would show off my vinyl record collection, but Record Store Day happened, and this is the first time I decided to participate in it. If you don't know what it is, it's basically just a bunch of exclusive releases of vinyls that only go to independent record stores. And it's to make people go to a brick and mortar store and go outside and support small businesses. And it's great. I love the idea. Never tried it before. Except this time, because I had just gone to a pinball arcade bar and I found out on Record Store Day they're coming out with Black Knight and the Sword of Rage soundtrack by Scott Ian from Anthrax, which is also a pinball game. It's a soundtrack for a pinball game. That's so weird. And it felt like the stars aligned, so I had to go. I woke up at 5:40 and had food, and they said that there's gonna be a line outside, and I didn't quite believe them, but I got there around maybe 6:30 or 7, and they weren't lying. there's a line. I went to a store called House Wolf Records, and honestly, they had a badge so that nobody could cut in line, and they were doing a raffle, and it was actually a really great vibe being able to talk to people in line about music. And I just chatted up this one person named Charlie the entire time, and we had a great time talking, and it helped pass the hours fast. Okay, I'm recording all this after the event, several days after, but I did manage to get a lot of that was on my list that I wanted to get. First was A Day to Remember, Attack of the Killer B-Sides. This, I think it's a little weird how it's only 4 songs and it's $30 and it's like the same cost as a regular 12-inch. But like, I like A Day to Remember so much, and there was only one left of these, and so I'm actually pretty happy that I managed to grab this. Of course, I managed to grab Black Knight and the Sword of Rage, which I love the juvenile sort of cool, where like, yeah, it's cool, it's a dark knight, and it's got fire and lightning, and it's all cool, and it's cool because it's cool, and I love that. I love that so much, and I've listened to it already, and yeah, I love this. Here's the inner sleeve for those of you who care. It is galactic purple. Now, I wanted to get Joey Valence and Bray. They apparently had an album, but they didn't have it at the store, and literally just the day before this event, I was listening to him, and I saw they had a record, and I'm like, sure, you know what? Okay, I'll take it. And it's only 4 songs also, and I didn't realize that, and I think that's bogus. And the last song is live. I hate live recordings. I think they're terrible, and I think a lot of people agree with me on that. I think it's a waste of time for everyone. And this is a picture disc. So that's actually pretty cool. I think it's 180 GSM, so it's thicker and heavier, which feels nice. It doesn't really aid in anything, but yeah. Is their music good? Of course it is. I'm not really too upset that I bought it. I just kind of wish they did better. Freddie Gibbs came out with an album that there was only one of these too. I got lucky with this one. I love the cover because it's a comic artist known as, his name is on the back, illustration by Mike Del Mundo, Deadly Mike. And so this is just really cool. It has a lyric sheet, which I appreciate. I already, sleeved them, and it's green. It's translucent green, and it's so pretty. And the center has like a Ben-Day dot effect, which makes sense. It's clever because the cover artist is a comic artist. And the story that's kind of going on in this album is like this, he's basically just like trying to fight the devil, and like the devil's constantly tempting him. And there's probably more depth to it that I didn't grasp because I only listened to it once so far. But good stuff. Second to last, I got lucky. I haven't listened to it because it's not for me. I got Fleetwood Mac, and this album is actually gonna go to Isabella's mom for her birthday, and they don't have a turntable, but every time I joke with them like, hey, you wanna come with me to see a concert? We can go see Ghost and worship Satan, which they would hate, and I don't tell them that part. But every time I joke, I'm like, you wanna go see a concert? They're like, oh, who you gonna go see? Fleetwood Mac? And I'm like, oh, so you like Fleetwood Mac? Well, okay, I know where to get you. There was only one of these left. This actually has like a higher print run too. I think there's like 6,000 of these when the rest of these only have maybe 1,000. So yeah, I got lucky again. It's still sealed, so hopefully it'll be unsealed eventually when they get it. Last one, I got Chevelle Point Number 1. And if you notice, I like to keep the stickers, and I put them on the sleeve so that it feels like it's still new. And this one is real pretty. This one, the color is like a drop of olive inside yellow, and it's also translucent because I'm a sucker for a little bit of translucency. And I had a great time. I'm not gonna, next time I go to a record store today, I'm not gonna spend all that much money like I did this time because the number hurt, and I was a bit overzealous because I had never participated in this before. Obviously, the Taylor Swift and the Wicked soundtrack, those were gone. If I want to get those, I gotta probably camp out the night before. Like, so many people in that line were like high schoolers that wanted the Taylor Swift album. So they're a lot more dedicated than I am. And I never like woken up early or try to camp out for something before in my life. And I grew up hearing stories about people that would do that for like PlayStation or limited drops of video games. And so I'm glad I kind of got that experience. Yeah, I had a great time, and I'm probably gonna do it again. I really liked Record Store Day. I'm gonna make a video going over all of my vinyl collection and have that be a patron exclusive because that's gonna be a very long video that nobody on no one's gonna wanna watch, and it'll probably like double or add 2/3 of a different video, and that's just way too long. This is already running on for longer than I want it to. So check out my Patreon if you are into this stuff. I also like do regular updates and send stickers on my Patreon. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay beautiful, keep playing.